This morning I had to find my red, green, and gold dress because I have something very important to talk about today. And I usually do my videos and I usually say if I get one person, if I'm able to reach one person, that's good enough for me. But today, that's not the point. That's not the case today. Today, I am hoping that I can reach thousands of people. If nowhere else, people in Jamaica, because that's what I'll be talking about in my video today. Jamaica, land we love. We are so proud. When you mention the word Jamaica, it's almost as if it has magical powers because people want to hear what we have to say. And I am speaking, and I am fully aware that there will be many people who will disagree with me. I'm not here to become popular. I am here to voice my grievance this morning. It's about our children in Jamaica. It's about what's happening to the youths in Jamaica. It's about the murdering of our children on that beautiful island of Jamaica. And hopefully, when this video is done, we will all take time to look at the part that we play. And we will also assess what we're going to do going forward. Now, Porsha Simpson, the Honorable Porsha Simpson, I'm hoping that I can get your attention as well. And I also want to get Lisa Anna's attention since she is the Minister of Youth. What are you doing about the current situation about children being murdered in Jamaica? What is being done? Now, when I hear about one child that is murdered because that child happens to be pregnant for an adult male, it doesn't matter if it was a boy, but when I know that a man is involved in first sexually abusing this child and then murdering this child, a press conference must be called. This is how you show that you value the children of our country, the children of your nation, the ones that will be taking care of you when you're old, the ones that are going to come up and lead our people to freedom, true freedom. I know that Porsha Simpson is not a mother, but the country, or many people in the country, refer to her as Mama P. So as a mother, this is bestowed upon you, this honor is bestowed upon you, and it's one that I think you should take and wear with pride. What are you doing about our children that are being murdered? Where's the press conference? Where is the message that is being sent to these very sick individuals in your midst that this is not tolerated? Not just 9 days of people coming out and talking about how outraged they are, or government bodies visiting the bodies or the families of these dead children. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about laws that are immediately in effect, that send a message to these rapists and these murderers that Jamaica will no longer tolerate the victimization of our children. Now, it seems like it's a new thing because a lot of people are saying, what is happening to our beautiful nation? We used to be looking out for each other's children. But the true fact is that Jamaica has been a very pedophilic society for a long time. Men preying on children for a very long time. I grew up there. And I have heard stories as adults from children, some of the things that the advances that they have to suffer through. Grown men that are married with a family are taking desperation and using it to their advantage. What are we doing about it? It's not enough to say when I catch you, if I catch you, you will go to prison. The message must be sent once you find someone that is guilty of sexually abusing a child or murdering a child. Everyone else should become so horrified when they see what the result of doing such a thing was. This now new case with a 12-year-old child that is murdered, and now rumors are coming out that the child was probably pregnant. Primary school child, a baby, is dead. And the adults are now coming out to say that this child was neglected and has gone to the point where they have burnt down the home where this child lived. Now, my question is to that community who was involved in burning down that house. Did you not know that this child was experiencing abuse or neglect? Why did you not do something about it? Now, Mother Porsha, this is what I'm saying to you. When you find out that parents are negligent in the care of their children, you prosecute those parents. But when adults come out after the fact and report that a child was being molested and they did not report it, you hold them accountable as well. There is no point in coming out after the fact to say that this child was being abused and you burn that house down. You should be arrested as well, not just for arson, but for the fact that you knew about the endangerment of a child and you did nothing about it. Now, parents, it doesn't matter how desperate you get and how hungry you get. You cannot continue to subject your children to this kind of depravity. You cannot do that. And it's a very common thing. I have heard girls tell me stories. I've heard boys tell stories, because now it's not just about, girls, being sexually exploited. It's happening to our boys as well. And it's nothing new. There's no demon on the island. You know what is happening now? What is happening is that your little dirty secret is now coming to the fore. After these persons have had this sick, nasty kind of behavior hidden for so many years, now chicken has come to roost. And individuals now have done it for so long now, they're so addicted to this behavior. Our little children cannot walk on the street. My 11-year-old daughter was approached by a man who was no younger than 80, asking my 11-year-old daughter if she wanted to marry him. And when I looked at him and I said, "This is a child," he says, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of her." And then I had another incident just recently with a man in his late 60s approaching my daughter, who he thought was 15, and asking her if she would want to be in a relationship with him. Also, another problem that I have is women in Jamaica who justify the rape of other women, especially the rape of children. I have heard educated women say that when a girl was gang raped by some of the boys at her school, it was her fault because her skin was too hot. I have heard supposedly intelligent individuals say that when the girl was raped, now she'll go sit down and keep herself quiet. I have also seen that when rape cases go before the court, women sit on that panel and women in that jury set those men free and say it's just a little sex. So what do you expect? Why do you think the men are doing this? Women see these things and know that they have children that are younger than that, and they turn the other way. It is your dirty secrets that's coming out of the woodworks. This is what's happening. So if you want to stop it, instead of running out and act emotionally, start doing something about it. Not just 9 days, marches on the street. And when you hear or see anything that doesn't seem right, like I saw some years ago in 2007 in Frankfield, a woman was passing and saw a van in the road, and she noticed it was rocking. It was around 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and she went in and she peeked in that window. And when she looked in the window and saw that an adult male was having sex with a 13-year-old girl, she went and reported it at the Frankfield police station. This is how community works. You don't wait until after the fact to cry out and to burn houses. That is not the thing to do. You respond to something after the fact. Be proactive. Don't respond to something after it happens. It's happening too often. Our children are being sacrificed because of these dirty things that has been hidden in our culture and our society, and we're pretending that it's not happening. Mothers who are sending your daughters out to men to maintain your home. We all know that you're suffering and you're going through a hard time under your political situation in Jamaica. But how can you be so cold to subject your daughter, knowing full well that this child is being abused by an adult so that you can be more comfortable in your economic situation? That is wrong. And I think if you are a parent, and I know many of you women are like that, I've heard women say, when my daughter, who happens to be 16 years old, go out on the road, you know you can put your pot on that stove, and you know that when you come back, she's not coming back empty-handed. This is why men are doing the things that they're doing to our children. Porsha Simpson, can you wear that title of Mama P with a little bit more courage, and when you walk away, let Jamaica look at you and say, this is the best prime minister we ever had, the first female prime minister. I know that you get a lot of disrespect from people, especially women, men too, because they're misogynists. They don't like women. That's another reason why they're doing this thing to little girls. A lot of men in Jamaica are not very respectful towards women. And so you're not going to respect or value our girls because you don't value our women. Now, Mama P, I'm not going to join in with these people and disrespect you, because I'm glad that a female heads our country right now. But you can do more. You know, you might not be a biological mother, but you're a mother nonetheless. You're a woman. We as black women, we are the mother of everybody's children. And it's always been like that when we were kids growing up. The neighbor, and I don't want to hear the story about how the neighbor used to beat us. That was not a good thing. But the neighbor used to look out for the other person's children. And women, because it's not your child doesn't mean that you have to be indifferent. Because if your child was raped or killed, you would not be going around saying, oh, these girls are asking for it. Stop it. Bond together, women. This is our next generation. These are the girls that are going to grow up to take care of us when we're old. We have to stand up for them, and we have to fight. We have to show these girls that they mean something, that we value them. Now, also, Mama P, take a look at the dance hall and see what's happening in there. And I've spoken about this before, how little girls are gyrating and allowing strange men to do all kinds of abominable things to them. You've got to stop it. Schools, this is where you're coming. Ronald Thwaites, you tend sometimes to attack teachers. It just seems like some of the things that you do, you have a thing against teachers. And now you're doing some things that are great. That's wonderful. But you come in now, let me hear your voice. Let me hear your voice, and let it be one of indifference. And let me hear you stand out and speak out firmly against the abuse of our children. I don't want to see you going to schools just to play this part where you're sharing your condolences to family. We don't want that. We want you to say, this is what we're going to change. As a Minister of Education, we are not going to tolerate kids behaving this way. Even if you have to impose a curfew on these kids. They don't need to be out on the road 11, 12 o'clock at night. It is not a good thing for children if you have to do that on a temporary basis to send a message to kids that we're going to hold you accountable for your behavior. And we're going to guide you. We are the adults. You're the children. We are adults in this country. You're kids, and we are going to do what we say you do. And when you find out that adults violate the rights of children, you're going to stand up. The government, Mama P, Lisa Anna, Ronald Thwaites, the principals of every school, parents and community members, this is a crisis. And you have got to stand up and bond together like adults and not just educated people, because some people might be book smart, but there are some people who are street smart. You all play your own part. We need each other. We need to stop this madness, because it doesn't make any sense that we say the whole world is watching us. We are the best in the world, the fastest man and the fastest woman. We are the best in this. We have the beautiful country. People want to come to our country. But what is the point in coming to our country when we are creating this sort of environment that does not value children? Send a message to those at home and those abroad that you cannot come here and violate our kids. It's happening. You see the video, and instead of going after these perpetrators who take these children, who are not using good judgment, mind you, but they're adults coming into our country, tourists getting off ships and coming there and having sex with girls and videotaping it and putting it on YouTube, showing them sticking private parts in these kids' throat. Those guys should be in prison. We've got to do something about it, people, and stop talking and stop with the 9 day of passion, and let's look forward. Go into the dance hall and start to ticket some of those selectors that are talking those dirty, nasty things and addressing little girls and telling them to do these abominable things. Ticket them. You can't swear in public. You get a ticket from the police. Police, this is where you come in. Go into those dance. And when you hear those men telling these girls these dirty things to do in that dance hall, shut that dance down. No time to play anymore. No more playing. No more games. None of that stuff. You have the power. If you have the power, use it for good. I don't want to hear about one more child being murdered because she's pregnant, or hear about one more child. Let the men walk in fear, knowing that if they cross the line, they're not just going to jail. And it's about time you start some public whipping and shaming some of these men for what they're doing. I'm ashamed of some of you men. Now, I don't want to speak in general, because they're decent men in Jamaica who would never violate the rights of a child, who would never subject them. Because the thing is, some of these men that are having sex with little children, a lot of them are impotent. And those who are not impotent, they have some bad self-esteem problems. And they know that a mature woman wouldn't want them. So they go to these children with their sick self. Put them to shame. Lock them up. And not just lock them up, put them to hard labor and whip them. Public whippings. I bet you if you start doing something, not death penalty, because people cry out. I feel like there's a problem with the death penalty, because when we use death to justify death, it doesn't make sense. But something has to be done, and it has to be extreme. People, our children are our greatest commodity. It is our future. And if we don't invest in them, we are saying it's saying very little about who we are as a people. Be blessed. Think on these things.